This is a 2025 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. And when I say Toyota ain't playing, Toyota is not playing with this new SUV. I borrowed it from Karl Malone Toyota here in Draper, Utah. Be sure to call for availability. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see options and features on this build. At the very top is a description for the color, so black on black. And here is a short listing of the standard equipment. Be sure to pause to see more. Starting off the options is that digital key. It also has the tailgate LED light, badge inserts in matte black, side steps which are the Predator drop black, cargo tray all weather, badge inserts again in that matte color, and more matte overlays here. Destination comes in at $1,450. You guys see the base price with total being $70,047. And then here are the Philly comment numbers off to the side. The new headlights on this 4Runner are pretty cool. Actually, there's a lot of lighting on the front end of this SUV. So let's get a little bit closer so you can see what I'm talking about. These are full LED headlights, dual projector beam. And you guys see you have those LED turn signals. Now it says Pro right here, but on this side it says TRD. When you put it together, TRD Pro. Pretty cool. Now you also have these rigid lights for your fog lights, and you have a light bar right here. Adaptive cruise control, front camera, which is going to be useful for the trails. You guys can see some of the overlays right there for that Toyota badge. And check out the ground clearance. This is why you get a 4Runner TRD Pro. And check that out. They have an old school 4Runner built in on your skid plate, which says TRD right here. Looks like it's in aluminum. It goes pretty far back. And this does have the active grille shutters too. Front parking sensors. And then check out the cutout and the bumper right there. So you have a better approach angle if you do plan on going rock crawling. Here's a quick peek at your projector LED fog lights. I don't see that you can make these go amber like the Land Cruiser. Let's go ahead and turn on this light bar. The only way you can turn on the light bar is if you put it on high beams and then click this button right there. And there's the light bar. It's pretty bright too. I can't even really look at it right there, but I do like what they've done overall with the 4Runner. You guys can see on that hood, they have a fake hood scoop. Toyota loves their fake hood scoops. I would like to see the aftermarket world bring out an intake system that can work with these fake hood scoops. Just saying, someone has to do it. Let's go ahead and check out the suspension out front. So here it is. This is the most fanciest suspension for the 4Runner. Although I think the old man Emu was a little bit better on the Trailhunter, but let's not go down that controversial road and pretend like I never said that, because I know I'm going to start a fight in the comment section. But nevertheless, these are the Fox shocks. They are stamped TRD Pro, 2.5-inch body, and they're the QS3s, which is Quick Switch 3. What the heck does that even mean? Actually, I do know what it means. I'm just kidding. You see right here? So you can actually dial in the suspension to make it firmer, so there's 3 levels. That's pretty cool. So if you want a little bit firmer, you have that option. If you don't, you can make it a little bit softer. But yeah, you guys can see you do have a steel lower control arm right here. Your steer knuckle is finished in aluminum, and then you have this fancy TRD upper control arm. Most likely this is going to be aluminum too. You have the red coils, which look really cool. And does this have a disconnect for that stabilizer bar? Let's see. I'm on the driver's side now. You guys can see the stabilizer bar, and right there, you see that? That is the disconnect mechanism that allows this suspension to articulate better. So they say for this new generation of 4Runner TRD Pro, there's like 10% more articulation, which is pretty awesome. Now, here are the tires for the 4Runner. These are the Toyo open country AT3s, which are pretty fitting for a Toyota. Tire size is a 265/70/18. Now you might be wondering, how tall is that in inches? Well, the exact size is 32.6 inches and it's 10.4 inches wide. These tires are 3-peak and they're made in Japan. Didn't know that. Also, if you care to see the capacity, here it is right here. 2,765 pounds, 51 PSI. I will show you the yellow sticker here in a second. Now, you guys see this is a little bit wider compared to the other 4Runners. This is about 1.9 inches wider compared to like the SR5 4Runner, and it's about 1.4 inches more of ride height compared to like a SR5 too, based off of Toyota's website. But this thing looks pretty cool. What do you guys think about those running boards too? These were the Predators, by the way. And I forgot to mention, you have like this, like, I don't know if that's bronze or just like a black chrome maybe, 4-piston brakes. And then here's that TRD Pro badge. Painted mirror caps, turn signals, cameras, blind spot right there. Smart key system only on the front doors. I'm gonna complain. There should be on the rear too, simply because this thing is like 70 G's. Just saying, Toyota. And you guys can see the transmission is actually exposed right there, but they do give you a skid plate for that fuel tank. No protection for that rear diff, however. And then here's where you're gonna fill up at. I may have to push a button on the inside. There is a button on the inside. 19-gallon fuel tank. And then you can kind of see the framing out back here and that shock absorber. Let's take a quick peek down here. Now there is a cover that says Fox on there. Can you guys see that? I can't see my camera, but hopefully you guys can see. It says Fox. It is protecting a extra reservoir. So I did see that they had the external reservoirs back here. I didn't see any on the front, however. And you're gonna have that solid rear axle, which most people love. Some coils are in there too. And let's check out your spare tire since we're down here. This does have a matching, what looks to be wheel and tire actually. Nice. You have your receiver hitch right here. You have a 7 and 4 pin. And here's that rear. Full LED tail lights. You can still drop that rear glass. And it does sit high, even in the rear too. Recovery hooks, which look to be built in on that receiver hitch too. More of those overlays and matte right there. And here you have 2 cameras out back too. Let's go ahead and pop this open. All power. And they do raise this. Anybody know why? Anyone know why? I'm sure you mostly do know why, because of the battery pack there, but 120 volt power here. You have some tie downs, subwoofer, some storage that is really for the third row seat. And what's behind this guy? We'll take that off in a second. I gotta put my camera down, but yeah, you have your jack. And yeah, battery pack's gonna be under here. This would be nice if this actually like flipped, but it doesn't. But yeah, this comes off here like this, and you just have some storage. These side panels also come off there too, so you have a little bit of storage. Actually, there's some tools right there. Let's go ahead and take this trunk piece off really quickly. So you guys see there's your battery. And it's nice that they add some of the weight in the rear, although they probably couldn't make this fit with the hybrid system up front too. But yeah, that's pretty much it on the tailgate. They do give you some speakers right here. Lights. Love that. One last thing, if you want to pull down on it like this, or push the button, either way, And here's just one more side view of the 4Runner. Everyone does have an opinion about these turbocharged 4-cylinder engines. I'm not going to talk about, you know, the pros and cons obviously, but here's what I'll tell you. This gets 23 miles to the gallon in the city. I don't think I've ever seen a 4Runner get close to 15 on the city. So that's one good thing going forward, and it has a really cool intake system right here. That's a true cold air intake. Pulls air from right here and down below. And is this rubber? Yeah, that's rubber right there. But yeah, this engine's good for 326 horsepower, which comes on around 6,000 RPMs, and 465 pound-feet of torque, which comes on under 2,000 RPMs, 1,700 RPMs. That's insane. 8-speed transmission. This is port and direct injection. Thank you, Toyota, for doing that. Aluminum construction, 16 valves, dual overhead cams. This is a pretty overbuilt engine too, I would say too, and it's pretty easy to get to everything. You see where you fill up the oil at. You see your packs right there, all 4 right there. Coolant's right here. Yeah, all in all, this is a pretty good setup here. And let's go ahead and check out the interior next. Before we get started, I want to show you the key because it does have a pretty cool graphic on the back there. It's pretty nice. And on the door, you have the black interior, red stitching, soft touch. Although there is a lot of hard plastic, but you know, not too bad for an off-road SUV. It says TRD Pro. This does look like carbon fiber, but it's not. It's just a nice graphic that looks like it. Seat memories. Also, you have auto up and down front and rear windows. Power folding outside mirrors. You can set those up automatically too. JBL premium sound system, all with the floor mats, and they give you the sport pedals. Yes. 12-way seat, including the lumbar, which goes up and down. Great bolstering on the sides, perforated leather with a graphic design in there. You can probably see that. More of that bolstering up top here. These headrests only go up and down, they're not tilt. And here is the steering wheel. Perforated leather there. You have that little red stripe there. Let's go ahead and check out the passenger side. More of that graphic on the dash here. It would be cool if Toyota offered a carbon fiber upgrade for this. All hard plastics up here, and there is a speaker that goes there. Glove box. It's pretty big actually. On this side, surprisingly, they do give you a 12-way seat. Out back. They did a good job on the 4Runner. Puddle lights down there. And seat back pockets. Grab handle to get in. Let's see how easy it is. This is pretty tight, I will say. This is not for people who have older kids for sure, although they would fit fine back here. I mean, look, that seat is all the way up a little bit. I feel comfortable back here for sure. There is a hump in the center, however. You guys see there? 2,400 watts of power, 2 USBs, Type-Cs, air vents. These are reminiscent of, you know, back in the 90s too. My mom had a 1994, I believe. You have that black liner up there, right here. Some cup holders, armrest, 3 headrests. Man, this is done well. And I didn't show it to you, you do have a bottle holder right there. Let's go ahead and jump back over to the driver's seat. Here are all the controls on the side if you want to adjust the headlights up and down. If you put a lot of gear on this thing, you know Toyotas love the squat, so that's really good for that. You can dim this 12.3-inch display. This is where you open that fuel door. Auto high beams, traction control, 120 volt power plugs can be turned on from here. You can lift that lift gate. These are pre-wired auxiliaries. And this is for the lights out back and the light bar. Here's some of the controls on the steering wheel. Push button start, finished in a TRD red. Dual climate control, heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel buttons right there, wireless charger, 2 USBs, electronic parking brake, hold function, and you have some drive modes too. Let's see. They give you eco, normal, and sport. Also, you have all your crawl functions, all your off-road systems. Multi-terrain system is what that stands for there. And 2 high, 4 low, part-time four-wheel drive. Now there is no locker on the front, however you do have that rear locker, and you have that stabilizer disconnect. Some of your trailering right there. Cup holders. This is wrapped in a nice vinyl. A little bit of storage. And you saw the 2 cameras out back, right? One was for this out back, and you have all the cameras in the mirrors and out front to make up this camera view right there. And then you have this guy here. This is definitely one of my favorite things. You can actually adjust this up and down. This one actually does left and right. Wow. And you can tilt it if you want. I don't know why you'd want to do. Well, I guess if you're off-road, maybe that might come in handy. Or if you want, you can zoom in. You can do the auto adjustment. Not sure what that is. Is that for like compass maybe? And then home link. And you can change the language for that too. This screen, 14-inch display. Let's set up later. Exit. There it is. Come here. You have your trip information. Vehicle alerts will show up here. Of course, this has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth. And you can do some customizations too on this screen. But yes, all in all, this is a nice SUV. I think Toyota did a good job. You don't have heads-up display. And for your vanities, more LED lights. Also, if you want to open this, they do give you this, give you better protection from that sun. Let's go ahead and check out the numbers on the door. So here is the gross axle weight rating is 3,045 pounds. The rear is 3,700 pounds. 6,505 pounds is gross vehicle weight rating. These wheels are 18 by 8 wide, and an all-in payload is 895 pounds minus 36 pounds, which is some of the accessories on this thing. Tire pressure is 33 psi all the way around, and I didn't mention, but power steering column, tilt and telescoping. This is truly one of the best 4Runners ever. The technology, the prowess of the suspension, the Toyo tires. I thought they were using Goodyear Wrangler tires. Someone can correct me in the comment section, but I thought that's what they were using in the past. But yes, really nice 4Runner. Call Karl Malone and see if it's available. See you guys soon.